Hi everybody, it's Bear. I've been running Magisteria 3 for quite some time, trying to get that very coveted Fabled gear, and in this video I wanted to share with you the team that's been making it work for me. Now the current team that I'm using is Jonathan, Nathalia, Flarance, and Hakrin. Now this I've been experimenting for spells. Smoldering Flames works okay. Guy's Renewal is a must if your Flarance does not heal too much. And Sundering Purgatory has been working the best. So let me put up all of their stats on the screen, and then we're going to jump into it. One key note I want to touch base on, I want to talk about. Nathalia will most likely need to be in a guard set here. Flarance doesn't always put up all of her buffs every turn, so a guard set is a must on Nathalia. Hakrin will help with survivability. And Jonathan does need to have the highest HP. That is the most key here. And that is because we're going to manipulate the bomb. Jumping into Magisteria HELL Stage 3. Here is the turn order. I want to do this on manual for the first couple of turns. And then we're going to put it on auto and let them do their thing. One key note here is this is not a fast dungeon. Right? This is going to take some time. This is HELL Stage 3, and I wanted to make this video to help any of you that are struggling. Now, the turn order, as you can see, Flarance goes first. We're going to go with the defense down. Then we're going to go with the ultimate. Put up those counterattacks. That's going to be nice. Flarance is going first for the buffs. Jonathan is going next. That took me some time. Jonathan is in a mixed set, and that is because he needs to have the highest HP here. So Jonathan is going to unload next with his ultimate. That's going to give us defense down and attack down as well. Now I know we just did defense down, but that'll all work itself out a little bit later. And then Nathalia is going to do her thing. Nathalia is in a one guard set and two raider sets. I did run her before I had her in the raider sets. I did run her in an assassin set, and that worked out pretty well. So if you have her in an assassin set, you can use that as well. If you don't, you can use her in broken pieces. However, she does need to go after Flarance. By the way, Nathalia doesn't need to be this fast. She doesn't need to hit this hard. Her stats are a little bit high for me. I spent a lot of time working on her. She's one of my most powerful heroes. She's the most powerful hero I have because I spent a lot of time working on her and improving her. You don't need these stats, but you do need to bring enough damage. But Hakrin here will give you a ton of survivability, so if it takes you a little bit longer in this dungeon, you can go ahead and do that. Now, Flarance is going to heal. This isn't really going to do anything. Everybody's full. And then Jonathan is going to do, I don't actually remember what he does here. Let's put it on auto, but we're going to do the same thing. He actually gives himself another turn. Nathalia goes. He's actually going to go last. Hakrin is going to do his ultimate here, which is nice. Give everybody that much needed HP. And if you are struggling with survival in this dungeon, bring Hakrin. He's very easy. He's very fusible. And he's fairly easy to fuse. All you need is a couple of copies of him just to make sure he's got the speed bonus and he has his ascension is what I'm trying to say. He has his ascension as well. I was just thinking about the turn order. So right here, in Magisteria 3 and in Magisteria 4, we can actually manipulate the bomb, meaning we can control where it goes, which target it goes to. And if you have Jonathan, which he's not very difficult to get, I've actually only pulled one copy of Jonathan, and I ended up using Awaken Soul Arcanas, which are the potions from Endless Trial. This is, I'm glad I saved it. This is why I save a lot of potions. I like to sit on a reserve of a couple, at least two. And I'm glad I saved them because I ended up getting Jonathan to a 5. That is the only way I could ascend him to get him more HP. So what I'm trying to say is if he has the most HP out of the group here, the bomb will go on him. There we go. And then he will actually self-cleanse the bomb, which works out very, very nice, as we'll see later. Now, the one tricky part here is the speed tuning, trying to make sure that Jonathan goes before your damage dealers. I believe you can do this with Sierra as well. My Sierra's gear is not great. I haven't done this with Sierra instead of Nathalia. I've done this with Nathalia and Sierra, no Hakrin, and that is not always a successful run. It's about a 60% chance because they just don't do enough damage. Some of them start to die, so I don't have enough healing. For me to be able to survive, I need to bring Flarance's HP way up so she can heal a lot more so they can survive. However, if I bring Flarance's HP up, Jonathan no longer has the highest HP, which means the bomb goes on Flarance. So there's a fine balance there. I've actually had to take Flarance down. I had her in a faith set with like 25,000 KHP, 24 and a half, and I was doing pretty good. Jonathan right now, I believe, is only at 22. During editing, I will put up all of their stats in the beginning of this video, and then after this run, I can show you all of their gear as well. And right now, so Jonathan, I actually had to bring Jonathan up, and I had to bring Flarance down. And as you can see, she no longer heals everybody full because she's lacking a little bit HP. And right now, what I need to do is I need to bring Jonathan's HP up, and he's in the best gear that I can get him in because he's an epic. He is level 70. I did that on purpose so I can get a little bit more HP out of him. There's the bomb on him. This guy's going to nuke us, blast us. He also provides shields. By the way, fun fact, he provides shields when your team takes AoE damage for the first time. So that's kind of cool, or for the first time per round, I think it is. So he actually gives a ton of shields there, so Flarance doesn't need to heal as much. However, as you can see, she doesn't heal everybody to full like she used to. And Jonathan cleansed the bomb off of himself. And this actually helps as well. With Hakrin being in here, gives us a lot more survivability, gives us a lot more HP as well. So this should be fine. I have never had this run fail. I've been running it for about a month. Never had it fail. And I wanted to make an Ash Magisteria 2 video. However, that one's a little tricky. I made an Ash Magisteria 1 with 2 comps. One with Gangelo was a speed run. One without Gangelo using Brand. Now, the comment I had that somebody asked me is, if you don't have Brand, can you use somebody else? And you sure can. You can use anybody that'll cleanse. And I believe Joseph will cleanse, so you can actually use Joseph in that instance. You just have to time it correctly. When I level Joseph, I'll make a video about that. But that video, I did Ash Magisteria HELL 1, and you can actually do Ash Magisteria HELL 2 as well with the same teams. So I wanted to make an Ash Magisteria 3, and then we're going to take a little bit. I'm going to farm some gear, improve my team, and then we're going to dive into an Ash Magisteria HELL 4 video. I am going to be away this weekend, so most likely you won't see me being active very much. But, so this team does work. Hopefully Flarance doesn't die here. She's never died. I don't think she's ever died. I've never had this fail, so hopefully this will be okay. There goes Jonathan cleansing. Jonathan is very, very good. As I've mentioned before, I've only pulled 1 copy of him. That was it. And I've had to use potions on the rest. So if you're like me, you can use Jonathan. If you only have 1 copy, that's all you need. Go ahead and do Endless Trial for a little bit. Get some of those potions and try to build a reserve. Maybe once you're done with Jonathan, keep a reserve of 1 or 2. And over time as you're going, try to add to that reserve. So if you're used to having 0, add 1. 1 is your baseline. And then over time, when you get to 3 or 4 and you use up a couple of them, now keep 2 in reserve. Say, hey, you know what? 2, I'm done. That is what I do with my shards. That is what I do with my gems. And that is what I do with the potions. I try to. And I always try to have 1 always left over just in case I need it somewhere, especially for that extra speed ascension, right? Sometimes you need a little bit more speed. You got the right gear, but you don't have enough speed. And that is what I had going on with Jonathan. Jonathan was actually going after Nathalia. Now, it would go Flarance, Nathalia, Jonathan, and then Hakrin, or I believe Jonathan might have been after Hakrin. And it took me some time to ascend him to get that speed, to get the right stats, because as I mentioned before, he has to have the highest HP. So after this run, this is not a fast run, by the way, but it does work. So the nice thing is here, you can put on a 10 multi. This is like a 7-minute run, maybe a little bit longer on my laptop. That is what I do all of my recordings, and then I edit on the computer. That's just the way that it's working out right now. And after, the nice thing is, you can actually put this on a 10 multi, go do something else. Or now with the background runs, you can actually run stuff in the background and then go farm jelly or farm scrolls or whatever else you need to do. So that works out really, really nice. By the way, everybody's full again. They're all full again. And that is thanks to Gaia's renewal. And that's working out really well. So if you are building this team, that is the comp that you need. Hakrin's very easy to get. Jonathan is not very difficult to get at all. Nathalia is kind of tricky. Some people get a lot of her, some people don't. I've actually used 4 Awaken Soul Arcana potions of her because I've only pulled a couple of her. So Jonathan and Nathalia have used Awaken potions. Hakrin, I ended up fusing most of. I believe he's at A5. I don't think he's at A6. Jonathan's at A5 as well. Flarance you do need for the extra added damage here. If you don't have Flarance, Blackhorn will work, but he needs a bunch of HP. And there we go. So there's the team. Because this was not a multi, we don't have a time because I started this on manual, but there's their ascensions. Let's go look at their stats. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, Jonathan level 70 and Nathalia is level 70 as well. That is for the extra speed, and that is for the extra stats for survivability, because hell stages are pretty tough and you need pretty good gear. So now with being able to level these heroes to 70, this helps a lot, right? You don't need such good stats because from 60 to 70, you get some extra stats when you advance your heroes. So, gear for Flarance. Terra set and a Faith set. I did not think she was in a Faith set, but she is. So, check this out. Terra set, weapon, level 12. Defense, speed, nothing fantastic there. Helmet, focus, defense, crit rate. Chest, level 12 as well as the weapon, some focus on it. That's why she's wearing that. Faith boots, defense. Her basic speed is already really, really fast. Her base speed, wherever that went, it's actually right there, right in front of me. Her base speed, she's already pretty quick. She's 110 already. So she doesn't need speed boots. She needs defense boots. And the reason why I put defense boots on her is so her HP doesn't go above Jonathan's. I originally had her in HP percentage boots. That works out a lot better because her heals scale off of her HP. However, her HP goes over Jonathan's, and that throws off the whole comp, and the whole comp fails. So right now she's at 20 instead of 23 or 24. That's where she was. So she is in defense boots. So that is a good way to manipulate boots as well, or manipulate their stats. Faith ring, level 12, not leveled all the way to 15. Necklace, level 15. That is leveled. The reason I'm not leveling the ring and I'm not leveling the rest of them is because I don't want to push her over Jonathan's HP. Moving on to Jonathan, 22.5 thou health, 172 speed. He is pretty fast. He is level 70 as well. He is ascended 5 times, and as I mentioned, I end up using 4 Awaken Arcana potions. I am very selective with my potions, and I do keep them for specific reasons. Right now, he is in a 1 Raptor set, and that is the best I could do. I did have him in a Revival set. However, he doesn't need it. He puts up such big shields, he doesn't need it. Everything is level 15 here. Raider health with speed. I was lucky on the triple roll, 3 rolls here, 4 speed, and that is to bring him up to go before Nathalia. I had him going after Nathalia, not on purpose, just because I could not hit the stats. And now that's been a little bit of struggle. So he's doing okay. Let's go over his weapon really quick. His helmet, health, and focus rolls. That is what you want. You primarily want health on this guy and some focus. I got some focus, some speed. Nothing fantastic. Health ring here, and then health necklace, right? Speed and focus. So that is what I've done. There are his stats. He does not need 100% crit rate. If you can get it, fantastic. But what you need is enough focus to be able to land defense down, attack down, and then enough health so he has the highest in the group. Jonathan's working out well. Moving on to the next Nathalia. By the way, there is a much faster comp. This is not a fast comp, but you do need full books on Nathalia, and you do need full books on Joseph. So that is a very high requirement comp, and we're not going to go over that right now. Moving on to Nathalia. She's got really good stats, and that is why I struggled with Jonathan. 5k attack, 170 speed, 100 crit rate, 313 crit damage. She does have some books. You do not need stats like this. The last time I used her, she was at 260% crit damage with 4k attack, and she was much, much slower. I have been getting some books, and I have been putting some books into her. I've been trying, and the reason why she's got good stats is because of the 8% crit rate. The additional 8% crit rate allowed me to regear her. And then, of course, physique, 20% crit damage. That is where that's coming from. And then she has a bunch of health, defense, and a speed to health conversion as well. Her gear has fixed stat up, 15% increase to main stat, which is working out really nice. And then a 30% increase to main stat for gear, weapon, hand, and chest. So that helps a ton, right? The books help a ton. It is fairly expensive to run these events. takes a lot of takes a lot of work to get these books, so I'm not doing all of the events. I'm very selective, but at any rate, here's what she's in. She's in 1 guard set, 2 Raider speed sets, and that is primarily for arena. You don't need her that fast, but this took a lot of work. Her weapon is 6-star, double crit rate, 1 health roll, not much there. Her helmet actually worked out really good, double crit rate and double crit damage, and a single attack roll. So this is probably one of the better pieces I have. Coat, looking at her coat, triple crit damage, single crit rate. Now, if you're looking at my stats and saying, man, all my gear rolls like crap, same for me. You have no idea how much gear I've rolled just to be able to get here. This has been a lot of work in progress. If you go back and watch any of my progression videos on Nathalia, her stats have gotten better and better and better over time, almost in every single video, or not in every single video, but I want to say almost every week. So guard set, I actually got this guard set. I believe I bought one of these from the shop. It rolled fantastic. The defense isn't great, but the crit rate is amazing. And then one of these, I believe I got from either the Endless Trial or the Banker. So I have not been farming Gemini Dragon at all. This is just stuff that I bought from the Banker. So there are her stats one more time. And to keep this video from getting too long, let's continue. By the way, as I mentioned before, you only need about 3,500, 4,000 attack. If you bring Hakrin, wherever he is, Hakrin will actually give you a lot of survivability. You can do it with William. However, right now, I don't have enough damage with William instead of Hakrin. The run goes a little bit faster, but some of them die, so not all of them make it. And if I do that, I do need Flarance's HP much higher. And to get Flarance's HP much higher, I need Jonathan's HP higher, which right now I can't do. So moving on to Hakrin, level 60. Flarance is level 60 also. By the way, he's in 2 Vanguard sets and a Raider set. He doesn't need to be in a Raider set. He can go last. Doesn't really matter. In the beginning, I tried to have him go first before I had Flarance. When Nathalia was about 148 speed, 150, I had this guy going first for that buff, for the max health up buff, so Nathalia would have some kind of buff on her. So that is what I did. And if we look at his stats, the idea here is to try to get his defense as high as possible, which is just shy of 4,000. I'd like it to go higher, but right now I'm not able to. And 165 speed, nothing else really matters. Don't really need focus, don't really need resistance. Just enough speed, and I think he actually goes last in my comp if I'm not mistaken, so you don't need crazy stats on him. Just slap a bunch of defense on him, he'll be good to go. Raider boots, defense, you can use whatever defense percentage boots you have. Raider ring, 50% defense as well with speed. Vanguard necklace, level 12, rolled terrible. As you could see, rolled absolutely horrible. However, yeah, that's the best I can do is the best I can do, right? Level 12 on his chest, again, didn't roll that good. Double health roll, 1 defense roll, not too bad. Considering it's a Vanguard set, I kept it. The helmet rolled okay. Crit rate, we don't really need on him. 2 rolls on defense, 2 rolls on focus, not too bad. Double roll on defense percentage, single roll on flat defense, and a single roll on speed. So there it is. That is what I've tried to do. Tried to give him as much defense as I could, so the team can have more survivability. By the way, he's level 60. Flarance is level 60. And Nathalia is level 70, of course, because health stages are tough. And her health was like 10, 11K. Right now, her health is at 15K because of the books. And her attack and everything else went up because of the books. Jonathan has no books. Nathalia took all of my books, and she's still not maxed out. Jonathan has absolutely nothing. Nobody else has any books. Just wanted to show that just in case people think I'm a mega whale. I am not. Flarance is unascended. No books at all. Absolutely 0 books. And where's the last guy? Hakrin doesn't have any books either. So there we go. The only one that I've been focused on is Nathalia because she is my best damage dealing hero. So there it is. I hope this video helps. I went into great detail for this video. Do me a huge favor, hit the like and the subscribe button down below. Also, leave me a nice comment. Don't leave me a mean comment, leave me a nice comment. For more helpful videos like this, check out the top right, and I'll see you in the next video.